Walking up to a craps table can be pretty intimidating, but here's how to make it simple. As you approach, you will see 2 to 3 casino employees facing you on the back side of the table. 2 base dealers, each working one side of the table, and possibly a boxman sitting in between them. You as a player can think of the rest of the table as a giant U with a casino employee called the stickman in the center. This person will have their back to you as you approach the table. The table layout itself is a mirror image on both sides. You've got the same betting options in front of you whether you decide to play on the left or right of the stickman. So just find an open spot along the rail on either side of the stickman and check the current flow of the game. One of the most common mistakes that new craps players make will happen now with the image shown as an example. Buying in with cash without checking the puck. The puck tells you the current status of the game. If the puck says on, then there is a current game in progress. If you throw in cash while the puck is on, the dealers are required to pick it up and hand it to the boxman. This will slow the game down, and you definitely will not make any friends with the other players at the table, especially if the current player throwing the dice rolls a 7 out on the next roll and the entire table loses. So just relax and wait for the base dealer to flip the puck from reading on to off and placing it in the don't come bet area before tossing in your cash. Once the puck is in the off position, feel free to let the dealer know that you would like to buy in and place your money on the table in front of you. The dealer will pick up your money and hand it off to the boxman for counting. While the boxman is verifying your buy-in, the dealer will begin to get your chips ready. On approval from the boxman, the dealer will stack up your chips and slide them over to you. Pick up your chips and place them in the rack directly in front of you. You are now ready to start making bets for the upcoming game. When placing your bets on the table, there are a couple things that you as a new player need to know. The first is knowing what the minimum bet for your particular table is. Look for a sign on the back wall of the table like in the picture. Or some newer equipped casinos have digital signs that can be changed with a computer. If you do not see any sign or are just unsure of what the table minimum is, do not hesitate to ask a dealer. The second thing that a new player needs to be aware of is location of self-service bets. These are bets that a player can make without the dealer's assistance. The highlighted image shows all of the self-service bets that can be made. Anything outside of the highlighted area are dealer-assisted bets, and as a good rule of thumb is for your hands to never be in the shaded sections. The very first bet most new players make in craps is the pass line. This bet can only be made on the come-out roll when the puck is in the off position. It's called the come-out roll because it starts a brand new game. To make the bet, place your chips on the pass line directly in front of you before the dice are thrown. Remember, you must bet the minimum amount for the table. The only player required to make a pass line bet is the shooter. Everyone else can choose to play or not. If the shooter rolls a 7 or 11, you win even money. So a $15 bet pays 15, and the same shooter rolls again. If the shooter rolls a 2, 3, or 12, you lose your bet, and if you want back in, you'll have to place another bet on the pass line. The shooter, again, keeps the dice. If any other number is rolled, the dealer flips the puck to on and sets it on that number. This is called the point. Let's say a 6 was rolled. At this point, your pass line bet has now become a contract bet. That means you can't take it back or reduce it. It must stay on the line until the bet itself has been resolved. From here, your pass line bet wins even money if the shooter rolls another 6 before rolling a 7. But if a 7 comes first, it's called a 7 out. The pass line loses, the puck goes off, the dice will then pass to the next shooter, and a new game begins. After the pass line, the next wager every new player should learn in craps is the come bet. It works almost exactly like the pass line with one important difference. You can only make it after a point has been established, never on the come out roll. To place the bet, put at least the table minimum in the come box once the puck is on. On the very next roll, the come bet plays out like your own personal pass line. A 7 or 11 wins even money. If an 11 is rolled, your bet can remain in play if you choose, and the same shooter will continue. If a 7 is rolled, your come bet wins, but every other basic bet on the table loses. The puck flips to off, and the dice move to the next shooter for a new game. A 2, 3, or 12 loses, but you can immediately place another come bet if you wish, and the same shooter will keep rolling. Any other number moves your bet to that box, creating your personal point. while the puck continues to mark the table's main point. Once a come bet travels to a number, it becomes a contract bet just like the pass line. You can't remove it, and it will always be working until it either wins by hitting its number again or loses to a 7. This rule even applies on a new come-out roll when most other bets are considered off by default. And here's the best part. You can make as many come bets as you like, spreading your action across multiple numbers. While the pass line follows only the main point, your come bets can be chasing wins all over the layout. Another easy bet for new players to see and play on the craps table is the field bet. It's right here, covering a big part of the layout. When you put your minimum table bet on the field, you're betting that on the very next roll, it will land on one of these numbers: 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, or 12. If any one of those hit, you will win at least even money. But the 2 and 12 are special. Most casinos pay double on the 2 and either double or triple on the 12, depending on the house rules. But unfortunately, the most common numbers, 5, 6, 7, and 8, if any one of those roll, the field loses. The final core bet new craps players should learn is the place bet. These bets can only be made on the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, and you get to decide exactly which number or numbers you want to back. By default, place bets follow the puck, meaning they're only active when the puck reads on. That's the only time they can win and the only time they can lose. For new players, this is the recommended way to play them. To make a place bet, put your chips in the come box and clearly call out your request. For example, place the 8 for $18. The dealer will then set your chips in the correct position on the layout. Once placed, these bets remain on the table until either they win, lose, or you ask the dealer to take them down. A place bet wins when the shooter rolls that specific number before a 7. But if a 7 rolls first, all place bets lose and come down. Like much of the craps layout, place bet payouts work in mirrored pairs, often called sister numbers, because their odds of rolling are identical. The 4 and 10 each pay 9 to 5 on a standard place bet, meaning $9 for every $5 wagered. Side note, as a buy bet, they usually pay 2 to 1 minus a small commission. The 5 and 9 each pay 7 to 5, or $7 for every $5 wagered. The 6 and 8 each pay 7 to 6, $7 for every $6 wagered. That's why players typically bet them in multiples of 6, like $12 or $18.